So this is a matchup between Jess and Andy. Yes, I know, it's another Jess versus Andy. I like proving that Jess can go up against tier 3s, what can I say? And this is a match from a while ago actually, like a few months. I just never got around to actually talking about it because, oh my god, something funny happens in this match, and let's just say that. And I've gone over these two COs, you know how I feel about this matchup. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So the map is Gobi, and it's a classic like 3 base 1 airport, and it's all shoved into a corner. So global damage COs like Olaf and Drake, and even Hawk, like they'll benefit from that since all the reinforcements are coming from one area. More so Olaf because the snow will impact everything. And the comm tower the comm towers in this area is actually really safe too, which is very nice. And I'm going to be the first one to open up with the tank. I do believe the tank order is like first player, then the next two go to the second player, then it goes back to the first player. I'm fairly certain that's how tank order goes in this map. Again, I could be dead wrong. Which it looks like I am dead wrong. And the Andy, once again, being the first one to strike. I know Jess has weaker infantry, but with the comm tower, they're just as good as normal infantry. They are. And with Andy striking an opponent on the city, and with a tank behind it, there's no question as to what Jess is getting ready to do. Bye-bye. Andy wants to keep units alive. You do not throw your units away if your name is Andy. Heck, even Hawk. And we're basically just going in a tank brawl, which, with these, Jess will win. Jess will single-handedly win. Maybe not single-handedly, she does still have to be a little bit smart about it. Because Andy can't, because Andy will want to pull back his injured tanks. And recon. I think this is the time when I actually started using recons. I'm sending that thing to the right. There's too much infantry over there, and I only got the 1 infantry. I want a recon. And that tank on the city actually isn't safe. Because with the comm tower, Jess gets a guarantee on 2-hit KOs. Now, here's the thing with Jess. And Hawk also follows this as well. They can actually 2-shot things on cities. I'm going backwards. They can 2-shot things on cities. It's just a luck roll. That's it. It is just a luck roll that's holding them back. So it's not a reliable tank kill, but they can do it. Yeah, the only bad thing about this is my tank is going to get hit. That's the only bad part about that. And he bought a Neo tank! 39 Neo tank! And he only has 18k compared to 17k. I see this and I'm like, what the heck? And I go ahead and just mop up the units because I see the Neo tank, I was like, okay, I need unit count. I need something in order, I need some sort of lead in order to deal with this Neo tank. I truly do. And I built a Neotank of my own. I have to have some sort of answer to this, because even though I was going like, okay, unit count, that'll do something to it. Maybe. That Neotank can only focus on so many things. Like, having so many units around it to where it could possibly pick some off. Okay, maybe that'll do it. No, I need an actual answer to a Neotank. Medium tanks, they're good. Just can make them work. But with a map as big as this, and Andy having access to movement-based powers, I need something that can actually match that speed. And another Neotank is perfect. I just need to be able to finish the job. And that Neotank is going straight forward too. And tank infantry. Beautiful. Love it. What I don't like is that tank being all the way like by itself. And knocked out one of my tanks, sure. I still don't like that. Save your units. Because otherwise they're just going to get picked off one by one. And you don't want that. Because notice that I went with the 3 HP tank. And notice that the Neotank, it is actually covering every single bit of my stuff. Like my units here. Every single one of them. And yes, even that infantry that's outside of range, because I have turbocharge ready. Yeah, and I'm keeping that infantry there too. That infantry isn't moving. Because otherwise it'll be outside the range of turbocharge. And then a second Neotank. And those tanks are being brought down. I don't understand why 2 tanks were brought down. Unless he plans on having the middle tank be sent to the actual middle of the map. But I got turbocharge ready. I don't believe I use it, if I remember correctly. Nope, I don't use it. What I do instead is I go ahead and get stuff in better position. And if Andy wants to go ahead and interrupt that capture, he has to use the Neotank. And one Neotank? Okay, sure. I can't handle a Neotank backed up by a Neotank. I need another one. And both of the Neotanks are going left. Which... Awful. Awful. No, bad. Bad Neotanks. Bad Neotank. Bad Neotank. Both of the golf balls are being bad right now. Even though Andy here is picking off my infantry, he is essentially just giving me control of the middle. Because I have 2 tanks, 3 tanks actually, and then Neotank. All he has over there is just infantry. I'm getting control of that area. But he is pushing on the right, though, which is good. And he saves up 11k. He saves 11k. And seeing it's just the golf balls here, I'm going to incentivize the golf balls to stay put. And I'm also going to bring that Neotank up north to potentially knock one out. And to deal with the 2 tanks, I'm going to bring 3 tanks. And I'm also going to be the first one... Jess is going to be the first one to bring in the Battlecopter. Now, seeing that my opponent has saved up that much money, I'm going to save up a little bit as well. I'm going to save up 7k. I get 2k more than Andy does per round. and potentially 3. Just depends on how he does his Neotanks. And he's going after my tanks. What? I see. Perfect example. Andy only has 100% firepower. He's average. And then with the Commodore, it makes him have Jess units. Okay, Hawk units if you want to be very specific. But this is a perfect example of 110 firepower actually being able to two-shot units on cities. So it is possible. Jess can do it. It just needs a luck roll. Andy just proved that. And then Bomber. Which I completely agree with. The easiest way to deal with a Neotank. Buy a freaking Bomber. It'll force your opponent into the air. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back my infantry because both of the golf balls are there. I want to keep my infantry a little bit safe. And seeing that he bought a Bomber, I'm going to build a fighter. Makes sense. Fighters are the counter to bombers. And I'm going to use turbocharge. Is it a good turbocharge? No. No, it's not. Do I want to kill off units? Yes. Yes, I do. It was not a good turbocharge. I will fully admit it. But at the same time, you know what? There's no excuse. But this Andy also didn't use Hyper Upgrade. He didn't have a reason to. He held on to it, which good on him, actually. That was a good play. Like, not using Hyper Upgrade. And then another Neotank. This guy loved getting teched up units, which... Ugh. And I tried for the luck roll, it didn't happen, sadly. But this infantry is out of range of the Neos. I'm going to go ahead and just take it. And there's one tank, and then there's 2 tanks. And now I use turbocharge again. Why? There is a tank directly on the frickin' road. And I have max vehicles right now. Well, max and grit vehicles. Sorry. This Neotank is about to take a big hit. And I took nothing back. And I go ahead and trap the other Neotank. Not actually trap it, but make it annoying to actually have to go around. And go ahead and get another Neotank. This is Neotank the Spammer. And then Hyper Upgrade. This is the time you want to use Hyper Upgrade. Because that Neotank over on the right got very, very good shot. That Neotank, I don't know why it disappeared, but that Neotank got a very, very good shot. And then anti-air, anti-air, and infantry. Finally got some freaking anti-air to defend against the fighter. But here's the thing. If that fighter is able to get to that bomber, bombers cost 2,000 more than fighters. That fighter is going to go in there no matter what. And then go ahead and shield shield it a little bit. Because if that Neotank wants to take on, like, finish off that Neotank, that other Neotank down below it is going to finish it off too. And then, golf ball in the middle. Just taking on even more stuff. And then bringing back the Neotank, smart. That's a good move. Now both of his Neos are 2, which I'm pretty sure he has the Neo advantage. No, he doesn't. Oh, because he bought the bomber. That's right. But that bomber's not able to do it because of the fire. I need to keep track of just how many infantry this Neotank has killed, because it's, my god. But I am able to get a property over here, which is good. I do want to avoid Andy of his income, but speaking of income, look how much money he has saved up. A little over 18k. Once again, I just buy infantry. I'm going, okay, what the heck is this guy doing? I'm not concerned, but I am questioning it. He bought a god freaking carrier. I mean, it covers quite a bit. It really does, but the carrier isn't going to help. It's really not. It's trapped in that one spot, and like that range, yeah, it'll zone out the battlecopter. It will. The battlecopters can't get close to carriers. Like, if one spawns and they're within range, that battlecopter has to either make a choice. It needs to go in and attack it, or it needs to leave. And it cannot, like, no matter what, it's going to stay in that position. There's an anti-air right next to that. Like, there's an anti-air directly next to the carrier. That battlecopter isn't going to go near it. And unless your name is Max, unless your name is Eagle, that battlecopter ain't going to be able to go near it, because that thing covers 6 tiles. Battlecopters can only move 6 tiles. Unless you're either of those 2 COs, your battlecopters ain't going to be able to get to carriers. So that is very good for carriers. But fighters and bombers are exempt from that rule, because they move more than 6 spaces. So, I see that carrier, and I'm like, what the heck? Well, let me go ahead and get my fighter within its minimum range. Yeah, I see that. I'm like, I'm not concerned about this at all, actually. And the battlecopter is outside of its range. And here's the fun part about Neotanks. Or tanks in general. They're able to fire on ships. Carriers cost 30,000 in order to build. Each time this Neotank hits this carrier, that is going to drain 3,000 funds from Andy. This was a horrible purchase. He should have bought more anti-air. Like, if he truly felt like he needed more, he should have bought the anti-air. But 2 was enough to deal with the 1 fighter and the 1 battlecopter. And the bomber's still not moving. And that Neotank is still going. And I do flub a little bit. I do place the battlecopter within range. So, it does get a little bit of use. A teeny tiny bit of use. And then regular tanks can attack it too. But here's the thing, I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly certain, yeah, it's a luck roll if it does anything. But the Neo tank, on the other hand, it's guaranteed damage. And with turbocharge, it might be able to do too. And here's a good thing about that battlecopter being taken out. That's 9,000 power charge to me, which I am enjoying. And he is playing super defensive. Like, he's not bringing any of his units out here. His Neo-Tanks are just sitting on properties. He's playing like Von Bolt. That's what this Andy is doing. This Andy is playing like Von Bolt. Meanwhile, I'm just firing away at this dopey little carrier. And I got 3 Neos up top to counter those 2. I got 2 Neos to counter the 1 down on the bottom. I got another Neo that I just purchased, and I got a Neo that's constantly firing at this carrier. And it's never going to run out of ammo either. It doesn't even matter if it's not on property, it's Jess. She's going to keep firing. Like, she's going to keep having ammunition just because of her powers. And this other Neo tank comes in. Now this carrier has to spend, like, it doesn't matter what unit is on the property. If a ship is on a harbor and it's injured, it's still going to heal for 2 HP. That is 6,000 funds that this Andy's going to be losing out next round. And look, he saved up 13. He's only going to have 27k. And I just keep the Neos rolling. There's nothing that this Andy can do anymore. Yeah, 27k. And then he's getting artillery, which that is a decent way to counter Neos. It is. But at the same time, this Andy's just sitting here. I already have the property advantage. I'm getting even more properties. Eight, 6. Wait, this carrier is just getting trained of all its health. And I build a bomber. Why not? I have the money for it. Yes, I base it, but I have the money for it. Because not only is it 26,000 to 18, this carrier is draining 6k each turn. 6k. I accidentally did stuff. Hang on. Like, he was forced to spend another turn just getting infantry in his bases, just so he can counteract, like, my income advantage. And I wouldn't even call it an income advantage either. It's just me not having, like, it's just me not having any repairs to do. He gets a shot off on Neo, and he kills one of my tanks. Hooray, but what does that do for him? It's not going to do anything for him. I'm going to bring that bomber up. And Neo's going to attack it. And look at this Neo tank. There's 4 shots left. I'm going to use turbocharge. This Neo has 9 shots now. And Jess, she is fantastic at wall breaking. And here's the other thing about this. Here is the good thing about that character. It is blocking me, but at the same time, that's not really helping him either. Because I can just keep attacking it over and over and over again. And I am forced to have to move my fighter because this anti-air, it does have access now. But oh well, I built a second bomber. These bombers are just going to go up to counter the mega tank that Andy went ahead and bought. And it's 27 to 17. And even though he popped hyper upgrade, the repairs still happened in the beginning of the turn. It doesn't matter. And this bomber is almost out of gas. It hasn't done a single thing. He's bringing the Neo all the way back. Like, he's getting it out of position. And the mega tank is over there. I don't care. I have bombers around. I genuinely do not care that there's a mega tank there. It takes out and it kills one of my Neo tanks. Okay, fine. Bombers. And then there goes the Neo tank, and that fighter's exactly right back to where it was. And the Neos are still going at it. And then, just in case this Andy does decide to somehow get a fighter, I am going to build some anti-air. I don't think I need to, though, because he can't get... Because with what I'm doing, there's no possible way this guy can get a fighter. And he had to buy an APC to refuel his bomber. It's at 18 fuel. And he got a shot off it. Cool, great. He killed the Neo with the mega tank. I always love to see that happen. But come on, dude. This is me trying to get overdrive, and I do get overdrive. You want to see what an overdrive Neo tank with 1 comm tower will do against a mega tank? But here's what the bomber will do: 3 damage. Actually, hang on. Let's see exactly what the bomber will do. 30 to 38, so guaranteed 3 damage. Here's what the Neo tank will do. It almost killed it. It almost killed it. And it only took 1 damage back. Yeah, it's going to get hit by artillery, but I have bombers. It's not going to matter. I have so many teched up units on the field, and I have such an income lead, it genuinely does not matter anymore. And I'm still firing away on that stupid carrier. I buy another golf ball. Why not? Just likes golfing. The bomber did something. It took out an infantry. And then the mega tank is going back for repairs. And he did use hyper upgrades so that The mega thing is all like quite a bit of ways of actually. It did regain 5 HP, which that is very, very good. But that carrier still drained funds from him. I cannot stress that part enough. I have an artillery in range now. One bomber, 4 HP. And there goes the artillery. And that golf ball's safe now. And 2 HP. And the fighter went ahead and finally struck that bomber. Another 2 HP. Another kill. Another kill. I built a stealth fighter. Why? Because the game's over. Yeah. 29 to 15. Okay. I have beaten them off of a capture victory. That's not something you see very often with chess. Not from what I've seen at the very least. No, I'm just questioning why this guy got a carrier. I really do. The 2 anti-air were enough. They truly were. Like, in post, I'm going to have to see just how much that carrier actually cost him. Because that is nuts. So many teched up units. And Neo Tank Day 9. I am a fan of naval units. I really am. I love battleships. And carriers, I do think they're a decent answer to the cruiser problem. I do. But in maps like this, that harbor should be used for a battleship only. It should never be used for a carrier. It can have some place. It can. But at that point, I'd rather just buy 1, 2, 3. I'd rather buy 4 anti-air. I would just buy the 4 anti-air. They can cover much more ground than what a carrier can cover. A stationary carrier. It really does sound like I'm being harsh on these players, but I'm genuinely like flabbergasted with quite a bit of stuff. I really am. At least the Jet Stealth Fighter made an appearance.